All right, welcome back to TD Sports Press. We are live on a Wednesday night. We are just about, what are we about? We're about 12 hours away from the March Madness tournament, really starting with the second round games. But boy, we have to talk about a first round game that I was very wrong about, that I will say that I was wrong about. So we'll talk about that. I'm going to fill out my bracket on the stream right here for you guys. I'm going to go through it, go through every game. We're going to go through that, and then we're going to look at Thursday games that we did not get to yesterday. We're going to talk about some of those games. What do I expect in some of those games? It should be fun. Could be a couple upsets still on the way that I still have not talked about. So it should be a jam-packed show like always, but we got to get right into the news. Miami, Ohio gets the win against SMU. This is a game that I said SMU would win by 10 plus, and I was wrong about it. I will admit that I'm wrong. I was wrong about it. Or Miami, Ohio, they've got into the tournament because of their 3-point shooting. That is something I didn't think they were going to be able to do against these higher pressure defenses, which is SMU. They were playing those zone defenses, and Miami, Ohio just shot the crap out of the ball. I was just call how they just shot it. No matter where they were, they had confidence in them. Their head coach had this team ready to go. SMU looked like a team that overlooked Miami, Ohio, and were looking forward to playing Tennessee. And unfortunately for them, they will not be doing that. They will be packing their bags and going back to Texas and have not won a tournament game since the 1980s. Miami, Ohio, on the other hand, just got their first tournament win since 1999. I think that's the last time the MAC had two teams in the tournament. So awesome job for Miami, Ohio. They're going to play Tennessee. And I'll tell you what, I am going to have to reevaluate this game of Tennessee. If Miami, Ohio is going to shoot at the clip that they did tonight and get the looks that they got tonight, it'll be very interesting because Tennessee's kind of they don't have a lot of players. They have some athleticism, but in order to like scoring, you look how they got beat by Vanderbilt. Their best player had one field goal and like 10 points. Like that, Tennessee cannot have a performance like that, or they're going to get beat by Miami, Ohio. So I will say I was wrong. I think Miami, Ohio deserved to be in the tournament. I was wrong. I will admit that I'm wrong. I think there's a lot of people that do this stuff that will never admit that stuff, and I will admit I was wrong. And that's all right. We're going to learn from it, and I'm excited to see what Miami, Ohio does. So SMU, on the other hand, their best player doesn't even play. That's the whole reason they got in the tournament. I find that kind of crazy to believe that's how they got in the tournament was because they were like, oh, yeah, BJ Edwards, yep, he'll be playing. He'll be available. I think they sent that tweet out like last Thursday. And he did not play tonight. So, and the committee chairman, when they talked to Seth Davis and Bruce Pearl, he said, yeah, SMU, we took account their injury of their best player. He's going to be back for the tournament. And he did not play in the tournament because he did not play tonight. And they're done. They're going home. So, did they steal a bid from somebody? Did they know that he wasn't going to play? I think that's a conspiracy theory that we'll never know. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I don't even think it would have mattered. I mean, Miami, Ohio, they're still going to shoot about the same percentage. I mean, the guy led the ACC in steals, but Miami, Ohio, their offense was insane. Maybe he's that much of a difference. I don't know. SMU, they kind of looked really strong. They looked like they were 7th seed in February. It looked like everything was going good, and he goes down, and everything from there goes down. So Miami, Ohio, they get the win in the first 4. It was an electric atmosphere. It felt like every time a shot went down, the whole place erupted, and it was awesome. That's what college basketball is about, or about these mid-major teams that no one thinks, or maybe there's someone out there who was like, yeah, they're going to win by 10 plus, or Miami, Ohio's going to win by 10 plus. Maybe there's people out there. I haven't seen anything like that, but I could be wrong. But it was awesome to watch that, and I hope we see some more mid-major. This gets me excited about some of those mid-major games tomorrow we talked about yesterday. Your Louisville and South Florida's, your VCU and North Carolina. I'm kind of antsy. I won't even lie, thinking about a couple of those games. So, yeah, let's get on to the part that everyone's been looking for. At least I have been looking for. That's probably. We are going to fill out my bracket. So yeah, we are going to fill out my bracket, and I'm excited about it. So here we go. Let's get right into it here. So obviously we got our bracket on ESPN here. So let's get right into it. Let's start in the East region. We have Duke and Siena. A great run by Siena. Fun fact about this, I didn't realize this till today. I saw this actually. Siena has a bigger gym than Duke. Unfortunately, that has nothing to do with the actual basketball being played. Give me Duke to win that game. Ohio State and TCU. This is a game we kind of talked about yesterday. And this is going to be a good game. I think both these teams are really hot coming into this. Bruce Thornton, he's going to get his March moment. And TCU, they're a team that's beat Wisconsin. They beat Florida. They beat Iowa State. The list goes on and on. I mean, what team are we going to get? Give me the Big 10 or give me the Big 12. Give me TCU to win that game. Moving on to St. John's and Northern Iowa. This should be a good game. Northern Iowa is not just going to be a pushover game. But I still think St. John's are 18-2 in their last 20, if I remember right. Maybe that stat is, I believe they're 18-20 if they're 2 losses to Providence and UConn. I think those are their 2 losses. Northern Iowa, they were the 7th seed or 6th seed in the Arch Madness tournament. I'm going to take St. John's winning this. I think they're playing way good right now. I think they remember what happened last year. They were a 2 seed, and they got beat by 10 seed at Arkansas. I think they remember that pain. Everyone thought, oh, St. John's, Final Four contenders, and they got beat in the round of 32. I think there's going to be a little bit of revenge. Give me St. John's to win this one. Kansas and Cal Baptist. This is going to be basically a home game for Cal Baptist, just a little down the road against a Kansas team that we don't know what we're going to get from Kansas. They're kind of you just throw them in a bag and you get what you get. Kansas, Cal Baptist. I'm going to take Kansas to win this game. Moving on, Louisville and South Florida. The more I watched SMU play today, the more I thought, man, Louisville is overrated. Give me South Florida to upset Louisville. This is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a great game. I think it's one of the first games of the tournament as well. We go right from like TCU to Ohio State to South Florida and Louisville. Louisville, they lost the first game of the tournament last year. They're gonna lose like the second game this year. Their best player, Mikael Brown's not even playing. It's a bummer. And it stinks. It's a kind of a Darian Peterson situation at this point. I don't care what people say. It's the same thing. But South Florida, they're going to win this game. They're a really good mid-major. I love the way that they can guard off the ball. Moving on, Michigan State and North Dakota State. This game is actually going to be another good one here. North Dakota State coming out of the Summit League. I'm going to take Michigan State to win this game. I think that Tom Izzo is going to have there's going to be fire coming out of their eyes at Michigan State after getting beat by UCLA. And funny enough, we get UCLA and UCF in the next game in the 7-10 matchup here. UCF out of the Big 12. They probably won their way in when they beat Cincinnati. Very close game. Cincinnati had like the lead. They had like a 95% chance to win the game with 2 minutes to go and blew it. But I'm going to take UCLA here. I think that the injuries has kind of taken care of itself. Even though UCLA hates travel, they've made that very well known. I'm going to take UCLA. And then we got UConn and Furman. Furman out of the SoCon Conference. They were I want to say they were like the 6 or 7 seed. And East Tennessee State was the number 1 seed, and that's who they beat in their SoCon tournament. But I'm going to take UConn. I'm going to take UConn in here. I love the Hurley in March. I think they're going to be a little bit of vengeance on with UConn. So let's go ahead. Let's do the round of 32 here. Let's keep it here. We have Duke and TCU, and my gosh, TCU, I think if they were matched up with another 1 seed on this list, they probably would beat them. But TCU had to be matched up with Duke because they've already played Arizona, and they've already played Florida and Michigan. They almost beat Michigan. Honestly, probably should have beat Michigan. I'm going to take Duke to win this game. St. John's and Kansas. I'm going to take defense. I believe in teams that want to be there. I don't think Kansas – they're not all the way there mentally. I'm going to take St. John's to go to the Sweet 16. And you think about it, Rick Pitino taking this job over 2 years ago, getting this team to the Sweet 16, I don't think a lot of us saw that. Even if we wanted to say we did, I don't think a lot of us actually did see that. South Florida and Michigan State, this is going to be a very interesting game. Can Tom Izzo find a way in March? And South Florida, can they find a way to go to the Sweet 16 out of the American Conference, which I think was one of the more underrated conferences in America? Give me Michigan State to win this game. Next game, UCLA and UConn. I've seen a lot of people pick UCLA in this spot. I just think that UConn matches up really well with UCLA. UCLA has been getting hot lately. I'm going to take UConn. I think this is going to be a great game. UConn. So we have our Sweet 16 in the East region. This is at Washington, D.C., and this is going to mean something in a second. We're going to talk about it. Duke or St. John's, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Duke to win this game. Rick Pitino against a really great-minded young coach for Duke. I'm going to take Duke to win that game. I love the Boozers. I think they're really good, and they're going to keep winning. Michigan State, UConn, man. You got Tom Izzo, Danny Hurley. I almost said Bobby Hurley. Danny Hurley. Man, this game is going to be so good. I'm excited to watch this game. I'm going to take Michigan State. Nope, I'm taking UConn. Sorry, I couldn't do it. I've been going back and forth on that game for a while, and I'm going to take Michigan State. We're going to take Michigan State. So, Duke or Michigan State in Washington, D.C. If you guys don't remember what happened in 2019, I think it was 2019, right before COVID, Duke had all the team of Cam Reddish, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, I already said Cam Reddish, and they played this Michigan State team with or the guy with the headband, Winston. I think it was like Cash and Winston or something like that. Michigan State comes out of nowhere, beats them in the Elite Eight, goes to the Final Four. When they played Duke in Washington, D.C., and guess where this game is being played? At Washington, D.C. I think Duke gets this one, though. Great memory, though. I remember watching that game. I was like, wow, that's why I love March, is when Michigan State beat Duke in 2019 in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. Moving on. Let's go to the West here. We got Arizona, Long Island, fins up, fins down. Give me Arizona. I might have just made some people mad with that comment. Villanova, Utah State. Give me Utah State to win this game. Utah State's probably about two seeds too low for me right now. And Villanova, they are just trying to get to the tournament. They're just trying to get there. Wisconsin, High Point. A lot of people have been picking High Point. If you're picking High Point, I have no clue why, because Wisconsin has been playing some of the best ball in the country lately. Give me Wisconsin. Arkansas, Hawaii. Man, this has been giving me vibes from when this game is actually in, I think this is in Spokane, Washington. Or no, it's Portland, Oregon. This is in Portland, Oregon. But Auburn and Yale played in Spokane, Washington about 2 years ago. Auburn went on this crazy run with Bruce Pearl to go in. They played this 13-seeded Yale. And Yale beat Auburn. This is giving me similar vibes, but I'm taking Arkansas. I'm going to take Arkansas. Give me similar vibes to that Yale and Auburn game when they won that. Moving on to the down here, BYU, Texas. This spread is 2.5 for BYU. I have no idea why it's that close. Give me BYU to win this game. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State. Give me Gonzaga. I'm going to take Gonzaga there. Miami, Missouri. This game is at St. Louis, so this is about an hour away from Missouri's campus. Miami's, what a great story from where they were last year. They didn't even qualify for the ACC tournament last year, and they're in March Madness as a 7th seed. Give me Miami to win this one. Missouri should have been in the first four instead of Miami, Ohio. Moving on, Purdue or Queens. Queens, a great story. First tournament appearance ever. They're going to combine with a college named Elon next year. I'm not sure how that's all going to work, but great story for them to make it this far. But give me Purdue to win this one. Miami, Purdue, this is going to be a really good game, but I'm going to take Purdue to win this game and advance to the Sweet 16. I really love Purdue. I think they're playing a good ball at the right time. I just think they have too many weapons for Miami. BYU, Gonzaga, throwback to the WCC. I hope this game is played at like 9:30 at night on Saturday. That'd be awesome. But BYU, Gonzaga, give me Gonzaga. BYU without Richie Saunders is a different team. They don't have the defense that they used to have, and I think Gonzaga, I think EK is going to have a big game. Moving on to the top part of the region, Arizona, Utah State. This might be a sneaky matchup, but give me Arizona. And then Wisconsin and Arkansas. Wisconsin. Again, Wisconsin's one of the best teams in the country right now. They played with Michigan for a while, or like the whole game. Okay, moving on. Arizona, Wisconsin. My goodness, if you're an Arizona fan watching this podcast, you're probably thinking about the 2 times you went to the Elite Eight. I think it was 2014, 2015, because it was one of the years when Wisconsin beat Kentucky that was undefeated back in, where was that game played at? I want to say that was in Indianapolis, Indiana. But I'm going to take Arizona in this game. Wisconsin has been their kryptonite in the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight if you go all the way back there and know your college basketball history. Gonzaga, Purdue. This game is going to be in San Jose because it's the West region. I think Gonzaga is going to pack it out. Give me Gonzaga. And we get a fun West Coast matchup in the West region. Arizona, Gonzaga. I think EK is really good. Bradley's really good. Arizona, I think, can match up with EK. And I'm going to take Arizona to go to the Final Four. So far I have Duke and Arizona. Let's go to the bottom part of this bracket now. We have Howard in Michigan. Howard got their first tournament win. They got their feet wet yesterday against a UMBC squad that was really good, but they're going to get beat by Michigan. Georgia and St. Louis, man. I've been going back and forth on this game for a while. Like St. Louis I really love the mid-majors, But they just haven't played good lately. Even when they won the quarterfinal against George Washington, they were down by 22, and then they got beat by Dayton in the semis. I think I got to go with Georgia in this game. If you would have asked me about a month ago, I probably would have taken St. Louis. I just have not liked the way St. Louis has played ball the last 3 weeks. Moving on, Texas Tech and Akron. I'm going to take Texas Tech. Texas Tech is well coached. Akron is a team to watch out for. They've been in this tournament the last couple of years, so maybe some experience can help them. And then going on, we have illegal substance. Alabama in Hofstra. Give me Hofstra to pull the upset. Give me Hofstra to win that game. And then moving on, Miami, Ohio, and Tennessee. We stay with the hot hand. Give me Miami, Ohio to beat Tennessee. I know that sounds crazy. I made the same mistake last year when North Carolina beat San Diego State in their first four in by like 40. I picked UNC. I'm like, oh, they're going to the Sweet 16, and then they got beat in the first round by Ole Miss. So did I learn my lesson? Probably not. Did I enjoy watching Miami, Ohio, and do I have recency bias? Yes, I do. Give me Miami, Ohio. All right, moving on. Virginia and Wright State. Wright State coming out of the – gosh, I just forgot what Ohio Valley Conference. Ohio Valley Conference. There it is. Against a Virginia team that played with Duke and was really just right with them. Give me Virginia to win that game. Moving on, I have Kentucky and Santa Clara. I'm going to take Kentucky to win that game because Mark Pope is going to be ready to play the Santa Clara team. If you guys didn't know, Mark Pope was a coach at BYU, and he used to play Santa Clara twice a year, so I don't think they're going to take him lightly. Iowa State, Tennessee State, great story from Tennessee State. Their coach got there in July, and they win the conference. But give me Iowa State, one of the best teams in the country, if not the best team right now. Okay, moving on. Let's stay in the Midwest. Georgia and Michigan. Michigan has too many weapons. Georgia, I think, is overrated, and then moving on. Hofstra and Texas Tech. Texas Tech still makes it to the Sweet 16. Miami, Ohio, and Virginia. I think the run ends here. I think Virginia is a very defensive first team, and I think that's what's going to hurt Miami, Ohio. I think that they won't get the looks of Miami, Ohio that they got tonight against SMU. Give me Virginia. Kentucky and Iowa State and Missouri. This is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a packed game. Both fan bases are kind of close. Give me Iowa State. Okay, we'll stay here, Sweet 16 games, Michigan and Texas Tech. I'm trying to remember. I think that these games are at the Chicago or in Chicago. I think they're in the Midwest. I think it's Chicago. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Anyway, Michigan, Texas Tech. This game is going to be fun to watch. Give me Michigan to win that game. Virginia, Iowa State, Iowa State. I got to stay with Iowa State. I love the way they've been playing. Can they take their game on the road? That will determine how far they go. That kind of rhymed, actually. Okay. To go to the Final Four, Michigan, Ohio, Iowa State. I think Michigan injury is going to hurt them more than what people think. Give me Iowa State to win that game. Should be really fun. Okay. So now we're going over to the South region. We got 1 seed Florida playing 16. Prairie Valley. Give me Florida. Prairie Valley played awesome against Lehigh out of the SWAC conference. 8 and 9 game. Clemson and Iowa. Give me Clemson to win this game, even though that they have their second best player toward their ACL. I still like Clemson. Vanderbilt and McNeese. A lot of people have been picking McNeese. Give me Vanderbilt. Sorry, guys. Give me Vanderbilt to win that game. I like Vanderbilt. Moving on, Nebraska, Troy. I've been going back and forth. Give me Nebraska to win this game. I think that Troy keeps it close. We talked about this yesterday. I think Nebraska, they're hungry to get their first win. 6-11 game, North Carolina, VCU. Give me VCU to win that game. Should be an absolute great game. Super excited for it. I think that I'm a little concerned about the ACC. I'm starting to think some of these ACC teams outside of Duke are a little bit overrated. VCU won their conference, coming in hot. Illinois or Penn? Give me Illinois. Penn, a great story coming out of the Ivy League. Their best player had like 42, 43 points, and they won in overtime against Yale. Moving on, St. Mary's and Texas A&M. I think St. Mary's is the most overrated team according to their seed line. Give me Texas A&M to find a way to win this game after going one and done the SEC tournament. Houston and Idaho. Awesome for Idaho out of the WAC to make it here, but you're going to get whacked by Houston. Round of 32 in the South region. We got Florida and Clemson, and I've seen some people take Clemson. I've been really thinking about it. Give me Florida to win that game. Moving on, we have Vanderbilt and Nebraska. Should be a great game, and I think Vanderbilt just has enough. I love the way they've been playing lately. I love the way Vanderbilt's been playing. They look good in the SEC tournament. Moving on, VCU and Illinois, my round of 32, 11-3. I think Illinois wins this game, and they go on to the Sweet 16. Texas A&M and Houston, my 10-2 in that one. Give me Houston. I think Houston has way too much firepower. But Bucky in his first year at Texas A&M, going to the round of 32, getting a tournament win would be a win for him. Moving on to the Sweet 16 in the South, we got Florida and Vanderbilt. Throw back to the semifinal game where Vanderbilt controlled everything. Give me Florida to win that game. I think they get revenge on that game, and they'll be ready to go. Illinois and Houston, this will be one of the best games in the tournament. Super excited to watch this game. Give me Houston to win this game. Should be really fun. And I know some people are going to roast me about my 1 and 2 matchups. Or I guess I do have 2-3 seeds, but I know I don't have any really 10 seeds making the Final Four. I apologize. But anyways, we got Florida and Houston, which is a rematch of last year's national championship game. I think Houston gets revenge here. Give me Houston. My Final Four. Yes, I have 3 Big 12 teams in here because I think that the Big 12 is the best basketball conference, and they're going to prove it. Moving on, Duke and Houston, another rematch of a Final Four game last year. Give me Houston to beat Duke. Give me Duke to beat Houston. I just about did that wrong. I think that Duke gets revenge on Houston, gets themselves in the national championship, and they will play the winner of Arizona and Iowa State. This was a really good game in the Big 12. I believe in revenge. Give me Iowa State to beat Arizona in the Final Four. Duke, Iowa State to win it all. Iowa State will be cutting down the nets in Indiana. That's my full bracket for you guys. So, I mean, there's not a lot of, I would say there's not a lot of, there's not all that, big seeds going a lot of places. Yes, I have some winning the first round, but outside of that, okay, there we go. We're back. Perfect. We're back. So, yeah, that is going to be my bracket. I'm excited for the tournament. So stoked about it. Give me Iowa State to win the March Madness. I know they don't play well from home, but I think that they're going to get it done, and it's going to be good. Looking at some games on Thursday that we have not talked about yet. We have VCU and North Carolina. That game is on Thursday. We're going to start there looking at that game. VCU coming in on a hot streak like we talked about in the bracket. UNC kind of they're kind of running out of gas. They're kind of just running on fumes. And I'm going to take VCU to win this game. I love the way that VCU matches it up. I love their guard play. They just play so hard. And I don't think North Carolina can match that intensity. And I think we're going to see something similar to what we saw with Miami, Ohio tonight. Give me VCU to beat North Carolina, which should be a really fun game. Unfortunately, I wish Caleb Wilson was playing, because if he was playing, I could see a path for North Carolina to make a little bit of a run, but he is not playing, unfortunately. The next game that we will talk about, Texas A&M and Houston, or excuse me, not that game. Texas A&M and St. Mary's. I think that Texas A&M is going to pull the upset on this one. I think that St. Mary's is one of the most overrated teams in the tournament based off their seeding. I had them at a 9 seed. When I saw them at a 7 seed, I was dumbfounded when I saw them at a 7. Texas A&M, they went one and done the SEC tournament. They got the extra time to practice. They're going to be off their feet. I guess St. Mary's, they haven't played for a week either. They were one and done and got beat in the semis by Santa Clara. But I'm going to take Texas A&M to pull the upset in that one. So those were the 2 games that I wanted to get to. And my goodness, guys, we are here. Tomorrow we'll be recapping first-round games. And then we will be talking about Friday games going on tomorrow. So we have a lot on the agenda tomorrow, guys. But, guys, it's been so fun. If you made it this far, make sure you guys subscribe. Follow the channel, all those good things. And with that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow.